The episode picks up with Ippo watching Takamura catch the leaves from the falling tree. Takamura tells Ippo to catch 10 leaves or to just give up on being a boxer. Takamura gives Ippo 1 week to accomplish this task. Ippo then catches one leaf and thinks it's going to be so easy until he goes to try to grab the second leaf. The first leaf that he caught falls out of his hand, and Ippo realizes that it's going to be a lot harder than he thought. As Takamura leaves, he starts to think to himself that an amateur would not be able to do this task and that Ippo should be forced to quit because of his personality. Ippo then runs to school and practices catching a pencil during lecture and ends up dropping it, causing a scene in class. Ippo then has to go home and help with his family business. And once he's done with the family business, he goes back to the tree to practice late at night. He then continues to repeat the same actions day in and day out. Ippo is finally able to grab 2 leaves after intense practice. Ippo returns home to a meal and a note by his mom telling him that she is glad he found something that makes him so happy and to not worry about the family business as she is still young and she can handle it. The night before the 7 days is over, Ippo is only able to gather 5 leaves. Ippo practices through the entire night when he finally remembers the sound of Takamura's punch would make when he showed him how to do it. That lets Ippo figure out how to punch lightly. Takamura then runs by with Ippo sitting on the hill of the grass, just exhausted. Ippo tells Takamura that it's the promised day and that he's been waiting for Takamura. Ippo, exhausted from practicing all night, tells Takamura to watch closely as he's only able to grab 10 leaves once from being so tired. Ippo then proceeds to hit the tree and grab 10 leaves in his left jabbing hand. Takamura is just baffled that Ippo pulled it off. Takamura tells Ippo that he has a good jab, and Takamura only meant for Ippo to grab 10 leaves with both hands, but Ippo went the extra mile and then grabbed them with only his left jabbing hand. Takamura then tells Ippo to jab at Takamura's hand, and Ippo repeatedly throws jabs and gets excited. And so Ippo goes a little too far, and Takamura ends up hitting him back. Takamura then gives Ippo 1 month to work on his abs, his back muscles, and do a lot of running, as these are essential for boxers. The scene switches to the coach and the manager of the boxing gym watching the recent World Heavyweight Championship fight. The coach states that in the 20 years the gym has been open, they've only had 2 champions of Japan and 1 champion of Asia, but no world titles. The manager then reminds the coach that they have Takamura, and the coach agrees that Takamura has the body and the talent to become a champion. Takamura calls the manager and told him that he's going to bring in someone new to the gym. Takamura then walks in with Ippo, and he meets everyone, including the coach who pulls Takamura to his office. The coach gives Takamura a hard time because he heard that his best boxer of the gym was bringing in someone to train, but he brought in Ippo, who looks small and innocent and doesn't look like he has any fighting spirit at all. Takamura tells the coach that he didn't sense any fighting spirit from Ippo either, but Takamura brought him in because he believes in Ippo's potential. The coach cannot believe that Ippo is cut out for boxing when Takamura suggests to the coach that he should test him out. The coach agrees to put Ippo into some sparring, which Takamura protests because Ippo is only new to boxing. He's only an amateur. The coach then tells Takamura that boxing is not for the weak-willed and that Ippo is better off learning now. Ippo is shocked to learn that he is going to be sparring, but Takamura tells Ippo that he doesn't have to win the sparring, but he just has to show his potential. Takamura either gives Ippo the chance either to spar or he has to go home, and Ippo chooses to spar. Ippo is going to spar against someone named Miyata, who is 16, the same age as Ippo, and does not have a professional license yet. This gives Ippo hope and thinks that they will be on the same level if he does not have his license. But Takamura tells Ippo that the only reason Miyata does not have his license because you have to be 17 to get a license. Takamura tells Ippo that Miyata was trained by his former professional boxing dad ever since he was little, and that he is an outboxer that would cream the average 4-round boxer. Takamura tells Ippo not to win, but just to show his eagerness. Ippo thinks back and just remembers that he made up his mind that he will become a boxer and gets into the ring. The rule set will be a 3 knockdown system, and that is when someone is knocked down 3 times, they lose. Takamura gives Ippo a hit to the stomach for good luck and tells him to keep a strong guard like a turtle and just survive, and Takamura will give Ippo better instructions for next round. The bell rings and Ippo blanks out until Takamura yells at Ippo. Ippo then charges at Miyata swinging wildly, with Miyata dodging just for fun. Takamura yells at Ippo to turtle up, and Ippo stops and puts up his guard. However, Miyata then takes the chance to hit Ippo in the stomach, causing Ippo to drop his guard. Miyata then goes in and swoops in for a big left hook to Ippo's face, dropping Ippo to the ground. And the episode ends.